life, the bright lights, the type the crowd likes. Where you at, ballers? Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me. Where you at, ballers?
Kings at Knicks, 7:30, Madison Square Garden, 34th and 8th. The bye hat is engaged. Two top plays in this game, Knicks first quarter on the money line and Knicks first half -2. The Knicks come home off a loss in Miami, which we bought the Heat the other night. We know when to buy and when to sell. And we're finding the Knicks off a bottom out point, an L3 straight up, in a game they absolutely need for the Eastern Conference playoff picture. This is a front end home road back-to-back, with the Knicks traveling to Chicago tomorrow night. The Knicks have only had 2 of these environments this year, both in the fall, and they are 2-0 ATS first quarter and first half in this unique spot, and it is psychological. Having to travel after the game and bring another effort tomorrow night, they want to get out fast, potentially to suck the life out of the Kings. Speaking of the Kings being flat, the Kings traveling to the Eastern time zone the last 2 years have been absolutely terrible in the first quarter and the first half, and it is very obvious this team, when tipping off at 4 or 4:30 on their body time, just doesn't have an early energy. Sacramento is 1-8 ATS in the first quarter at the Eastern Conference if the game is the first one on Eastern time, which this is. Sacramento is 0-2 first quarter and first half in this spot this year as an underdog at Atlanta and at Miami. And last year, Sacramento went into New York and got hammered in the first quarter and the first half, 36-22 and 66-50. We expect a repeat performance, a huge spot for the Knicks to show up early, an opportunity to dominate. 2 top plays in this game, Knicks first quarter, money line, and first half -2. Let's dominate.
Sixers at Heat. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Thursday, April 4th with another free pick. We're rocking with the under 210.5 in this game. A game that I expect to have a playoff-like atmosphere. Let's be clear. One of these teams is finishing in the play-in spot, which is a scenario neither one of them wants. So I do believe this game has higher stakes. Joel Embiid came back after a long layoff, and he was impressive. Now, his shooting percentage, we'll excuse that. That's unlike him to shoot 42% from the field. But here's why he was impressive. He was 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter, which means he was being aggressive, and that's what he does. Of all the players in the league, he probably puts the most pressure on individual defenses. He regularly leads the league in free throws per game. I just think the degree of difficulty is really high. If you check defensive win shares, which, by the way, not to go off on a tangent, defensive win shares is the only individual metric in the NBA that's reliable in terms of defense. I know they give a defensive rating for each individual player. Guys, that is bullshit. Defensive rating is a team stat and is completely dependent on who's on the floor with you. End of tangent. Now, he went up against Chet Holmgren, one of the best defensive players in the league by defensive win shares. Now he's going up against Bam Adebayo, again, another elite defender. The degree of difficulty is really high, and you're not going to miss 3 months of basketball and just be at your best automatically, especially not in an intense atmosphere like I expect in this game with so much on the line, because one of these teams is going to be in the play-in, which is a position neither one of them wants to be. So I say all of that to say, everything about this game leads me towards the under, especially the Tyrese Maxey factor. With him out, you're starting Kyle Lowry. You couldn't find a more opposing style than Kyle Lowry and Tyrese Maxey. Both of these teams, the Sixers and the Heat, are bottom 10 in the league in pace. And with Kyle Lowry starting over Tyrese Maxey, I don't even see a way that these teams both get to 95 possessions. So all of these factors lead me towards the under 210.5 official play. Let's catch another ticket, y'all.
Hawks at Mavericks, NBA Shot Clock. Thursday, April 4th, 2024. A top lean in this game as we give you guys an official or an angle on every game in this slate. Take the under at 231.5. This is the second meeting this year between these two teams. The first one being played in Atlanta on January 26th. The final score, Dallas 148, Atlanta 143. A couple things happened in that game which will not happen tonight. Number one, this was the Trae Young Hawks who play no defense at an extremely high pace. Number two, Luka Doncic scored 73 points that night in a game that featured the Mavericks shooting 60% from the field and the teams combining for over 100 points from the three-point line. The line that night was 239.5, steamed up to 246.5, and now this opens at 231.5, and you say to yourself, why? No Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, a new leader for this group, playing much slower pace and higher defense, only averaging 108.1 points per game last 10 on the road. Dallas is 8-1 ATS versus the under last 9 home games, playing defense themselves against these bottom half style of teams. Expect this game to be a lot slower and a lot less points. If you want to bet this game, take the under at 231.5 and let's cash this ticket.
Nuggets at Clippers. Junior Browne back with NBA Shot Clock on this Thursday, April 4th with another free pick, and we're rocking with the Denver Nuggets -3.5. My initial lead was actually to the under 218, but you can't trust this Clippers defense. Now, the reason the Clippers are 11-11 since the All-Star break is not because of their offense. Their offense is actually 7th in efficiency during that span. It's because of their defense. Their defense is 28th in the NBA since the All-Star break, and you're just not going to consistently win games if that's the case, which is why they're 11-11 despite their really good offense. Now, on the Denver side, without Jamal Murray, Jokic just had to take more shots, which is not what he's looking to do. The one thing about Joker, he's not looking to go out and jack up a bunch of shots. If he takes 10 shots in the game and they win, he's the happiest man in the arena. So with Jamal Murray out and this added offensive load, their offense kind of looked out of sync. He's made some adjustments, and they've looked a lot better in the last couple of games. As for the Clippers, you guys know I've been in the business the last couple of weeks of fading the Clippers. The last time the Clippers played, my best bet of the day was Sacramento +2.5, and the Kings beat them by 14 points. The Clippers just ain't it, y'all. And the thing that pushes me to the Denver side to lay the 3.5 is that Kawhi Leonard is out. Now, every negative thing you've heard me say about the Clippers does not apply to Kawhi Leonard. As a matter of fact, I guarantee y'all that Kawhi Leonard is going to be All-NBA. Whether it's first team, second team, or third team, he has easily been one of the 15 best players in this league. So their collapse is not his fault. However, you take him out of the lineup because he's announced as out. I just checked their injury report. You take the only consistent thing out of a lineup that's been struggling for like 2 months against the defending champs, it can only be Denver in this spot. So that's the official, my best bet of the day. Again, fading the Clippers with my best bet. Denver -3.5, who, by the way, Denver's been 7-1 on the road since the All-Star break with a net rating of +9. Give me Denver -3.5. Let's cash another ticket, y'all.
Warriors at Rockets, 8 o'clock. Toyota Center, Houston, Texas. An official play on the Rockets at +4. Houston has played great ball in the absence of Alperen Sengun. And truly, this is the biggest game of their season to date. This team is 3 games back of the 10th spot for the play-in tournament. And if they lose, they will pretty much drop out of the race. This is also a double revenge game against the Warriors, having taken a tight loss against the spread at home on October 29th, 106-95. A game Houston had the lead in the middle of the fourth quarter before a Warriors push to cover the spread. Slightly later on, Houston did cover a +7 at the Chase Center, 121 to 116, showcasing an ability to compete with this Warriors team. This is a Warriors team that is 5-0 straight up last 5. Gauntlet scheduling, traveling to Houston, where Houston will be turned up in a revenge game, followed by Dallas in a Dallas revenge game, and books have noticed. This line opened at +3, a very short figure historically between these groups, indicating a game Golden State is not supposed to win by more than 2 points. This is the biggest game of the season. Ime Udoka will have these guys jacked up. It is a double revenge game, and it is the top play for a game side on this beautiful Thursday. Take the Rockets at +4, and let's cash this ticket.